Good evening. Let's look at this essay now. You can see the picture and the question and student's answer below. Highlighted areas I am going to correct and improve. And don't forget, if you want to see the script, just click on transcript on YouTube. Let me begin by saying this is quite a good essay. I would expect it to get around 7 to 7.5 in IELTS. The few mistakes are in regard to some missed material and some mistaken vocabulary. So let's look at paragraph 1. Actually, paragraph 1 looks perfect, so we can go on to paragraph 2. The first step is evaporation. No the here. Next sentence, goes up is not a very good expression here. Better to say rises. And I can't think of another word. One of the difficulties with the writing task 1 question when describing a process is that it usually requires very specific verbs to go into the description, and that is the case here. So the water rises from the sea and lakes, no the again, thanks to the sun rays. Once enough water has evaporated, no been. These particles transform into clouds. Turn is okay, but transform or mutate or change would be better. Next sentence, with the help of the wind. That's one way of saying that. We can't say with the wind. We can say the clouds are blown by the wind. But if I want to stick closely to the sentence the student has already written, I will say with the help of the wind. These clouds. Move is not a very good word here. It's grammatically correct, but doesn't really quite fit the situation. Could use are transported to the mountains, but that doesn't sound great either. Blown is really the right word, but I've already used that. The sentence as a whole would probably be better like this. These clouds are then blown by the wind to the mountains. That would be the best way of saying it. But following the way the student has constructed the sentence, I will say these clouds are transported to the mountains. Need the before the mountains. Before mountains, the mountains. On to paragraph 3. No, there is another point in paragraph 2 I would like to make. The student says that the water rises from the sea and the lakes, but it also rises from the trees. We can see that in the picture. So he should have said the water rises from the sea, lakes and trees. That was one of the missing pieces of information I mentioned at the beginning. On to paragraph 3. Second sentence, the clouds are emptied of the evaporated particles of water, not from emptied of. Fall would be the best verb to use here, but it doesn't fit into this sentence. We would have to change the sentence to rain and snow falls from these clouds. It probably would have been better to put the first 2 sentences in paragraph 3 into one sentence. For example, the rain and snow are the second step of the process, comma, once the clouds become too dense or full, rain and snow begins to fall back to the ground. Full stop. Next sentence, once back on Earth, the water runs down the mountains to the sea in two ways. Through the mountains is not the right verb here, and two ways is better than two systems. Systems is okay, but way feels more precise. Next sentence. The first way or route, we could use route here, is through some underground geological systems, and the second, we don't need one here, and the second is thanks to rivers that go directly to the sea. We don't need the before river and that go directly to the sea. At the end of the process, the same water particles are returned to the sea and ready to start a new water cycle. We don't need again here. And the final paragraph is excellent. As I have already said, this is a very good essay. Let me just show you one way in which it could be improved a little. This is to use some more descriptive words to describe some of the things you're talking about. For example, in paragraph 2, line 2, thanks to the heat of the sun's rays. So just adding a bit more description will get you better marks. Or even better, thanks to the life-giving rays of the sun. So when you're describing something, try to think of a more elaborate way to describe it. And in line 3 of paragraph 2, particles transform into dense clouds, or water-filled clouds, or into heavy dark clouds. Okay, thank you for listening, and let me remind the student not to forget to rewrite the parts of the essay I have changed. Bye for now.